This new photo shows a very stoic, 9-month pregnant Cassie Ventura on her way to court this morning. Just after 11 a.m., she was sworn in and within minutes broke into tears while reliving the alleged physical and psychological abuse at the hands of Diddy, saying he would, quote, knock me over, drag me, kick me, and stomp me in the head if I was down.
Diddy Sinapes after J.O. backs Cassie in court. The world of celebrity feuds and legal battles is no stranger to drama, but when heavyweights like Diddy, Cassie, and Jennifer Lopez collide, the internet goes into a frenzy. Recently, Cassie Ventura's lawsuit against Diddy took a wild turn when Jennifer Lopez seemingly backed Cassie's claims, sending Diddy into an explosive reaction. This isn't just another celebrity scandal, it's a high-stakes legal showdown with reputations, careers, and millions on the line. So, what exactly happened in court? Why did J.Lo's involvement trigger Diddy? And what does this mean for everyone involved? Let's break it all down.
The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the but he won't you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names, just like with Jeffrey Epstein.
Seeing Diddy Combs has been a towering figure in music and culture for over 3 decades. From launching the careers of legends like Notorious Big to building a multi-million-dollar business empire, Diddy has long played the role of untouchable mogul, powerful, strategic, and always in control. But behind that glossy image, a darker narrative has been simmering. It began with Cassie's lawsuit, a detailed account of years of alleged abuse, manipulation, and coercion. Initially, the public met the allegations with a mix of skepticism and curiosity. But as more voices stepped forward and disturbing patterns emerged, the ground beneath Diddy began to shift. Now, with the trial underway, the courtroom has become the stage for a different kind of performance, one Diddy cannot direct. And just when he seemed ready to regain footing, an unexpected voice joined the chorus of support for Cassie. A voice from his past, a voice with global influence, Jennifer Lopez. J.Lo's appearance in court and the powerful statement she delivered sent ripple effects through the industry and shattered any illusion that Diddy could weather this storm in silence.
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent.
He would do a lot of foul shit, like behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit, like.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
Puffy was playing with.
Cap of what was day 3 in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Once again, the prosecution's star witness, Cassie Ventura, was on the stand, and her testimony was both graphic and disturbing.
Obtained by CNN appears to show the music mogul assaulting his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura at a hotel in 2016. In the video, Combs can be seen striking and kicking Ventura as she tried to leave. I have the video right in front.
What followed was a public outburst from Diddy that exposed more than just emotion. It exposed fear, desperation, and a man on the brink. The explosive backstory, Cassie versus Diddy. For years, Cassie Ventura and Diddy had a complicated relationship, both personally and professionally. Their decade-long romance was followed by a messy breakup, but things took a legal turn when Cassie filed the lawsuit accusing Diddy of abuse, manipulation, and controlling behavior. The allegations sent shockwaves through Hollywood, with many fans and celebrities expressing support for Cassie. But just when it seemed like the case would settle quietly, Jennifer Lopez entered the picture, and that's when Diddy snapped. J.Lo's shocking move. Jennifer Lopez and Diddy have a long history, dating back to the late 90s when they were a power couple in the music industry. Though their relationship ended decades ago, J.Lo's recent actions suggest she hasn't forgotten the past. Reports claim that Lopez provided a statement supporting Cassie's claims, either as a witness or through behind-the-scenes encouragement. While the exact details remain private, sources say Diddy was furious when he found out. His reaction? A fiery outburst that left everyone stunned. Diddy's meltdown.
But it just, sometimes I feel like what you think people are and how you see them when you love them is different than when they reveal later. And I think
insiders reveal that Diddy felt betrayed by J-Lo's involvement, leading to an explosive response. Some say he lashed out in private meetings, while others suggest his legal team scrambled to counter the new developments. But here's the real question. Why is J-Lo backing Cassie now? Some speculate it's about solidarity among women in the industry. Others believe Lopez has her own unresolved issues with Diddy. Whatever the reason, her involvement has added fuel to an already blazing fire, legal ramifications and public backlash. With J-Lo's support, Cassie's case gains even more credibility, and Diddy's reputation is taking a major hit. Brands are re-evaluating partnerships, fans are divided, and legal experts say this could be a turning point in the lawsuit. Meanwhile, social media is erupting with opinions. Some fans praise J-Lo for standing with Cassie, while others accuse her of stirring old drama. But one thing's for sure, this case is far from over. Chapter 1. A relationship rewritten. To understand the magnitude of what just happened, we have to rewind the clock.
But yeah, I feel like that was her truth, and we all have to be true to ourselves, you know, and she felt like that's what she wanted to do, and I support that that's her journey.
Back in the late 90s and early 2000s, Diddy and J-Lo were hip-hop's power couple. She was a rising pop star and actress. He was the king of bad boy records. They graced red carpets, topped charts, and made headlines. But that picture-perfect image was shattered in 1999 when both were arrested following a nightclub shooting in New York. J-Lo was quickly released and distanced herself from the situation and from Diddy. Rumors swirled for years about what really happened that night, but one thing was clear: it was the end of their relationship. Behind the scenes, J-Lo kept quiet about Diddy, never confirming, never denying, until now.
Witnesses were called today, including a former security officer at the hotel, where Diddy is seen on video attacking Ventura brutally. You remember that video back in 2016. The prosecutors played the video. The witness testified that Diddy tried to pay him off with a giant wad of cash. The day's second witness was a male escort. This is where it really got very juicy, who says that he was paid by Diddy numerous times to have sex with Cassie while Diddy sat there in the corner and watched. He says he once saw Diddy throw a liquor bottle at Cassie and heard him beating her in another room.
Chapter 2. Cassie's breaking silence. Fast forward to 2023, when Cassie, Diddy's former girlfriend and longtime musical protege, filed a civil lawsuit that rocked the entertainment world. Her claims included sexual assault, physical violence, forced substance use, and career sabotage. According to Cassie's testimony, Diddy exerted extreme control over her professional and personal life. She alleged that he isolated her from the industry, made threats, and punished her whenever she tried to leave. The lawsuit painted a disturbing picture of power abuse wrapped in glamour and fame. Initially, Diddy's legal team was confident. They called the allegations baseless and accused Cassie of seeking a payout. But then, a wave of former employees, collaborators, and insiders began validating parts of Cassie's story. The court of public opinion began to shift, and so did the mood in the actual courtroom. For years, Cassie Ventura maintained an image of elegance, calm, and privacy, a figure in the spotlight who rarely spoke beyond her music or fashion. Her silence about her long-term relationship with Diddy was often mistaken for peace, but as court documents and testimony now reveal, her quiet was not the result of contentment, it was survival. In her first public statements under oath, Cassie described a deeply controlling relationship that blurred the lines between love, fear, and manipulation. She detailed how Diddy dictated her professional decisions, restricted her personal freedom, and used his power to isolate her from the industry that once embraced her. Her words weren't just accusations. They were the first time she publicly reclaimed her story, not as Diddy's protege, but as a survivor of emotional and psychological coercion.
Interesting, because they started off with this dramatic flair pointing right to Sean Diddy Combs and painting him really as, this larger than life icon, but saying that behind that there was another side to him, one where he used his celebrity, his power, really his entire business to force victims into unconsensual sex. And they started off by painting the picture of one night where they said he was essentially in a rage. He was on the hunt for his girlfriend, the R&B singer Cassie. And they say he kind of got wind that she was going to be with another man. And he went to one of his employees, grabbed them out of bed, forced them to go with a security guard in their SUV to the man's home, broke in. And when they found they weren't there, went off again to look for Cassie. And they depict how when he finally found Cassie, that he brutally beat her, flung her around like a rag doll. And they used that one night to paint the picture of what they say happened over 20 years, not just to Cassie, but to another woman named Jane, who they say the jury will hear from, and also an employee named Nia that they say the jury will hear from. And they say he was somebody who referred to himself as a king and expected to be treated like one, had impossible demands. So really setting the tone of the kind of character.
Chapter 3, J-Lo enters the scene. Then came the moment no one expected, Jennifer Lopez appearing at the courthouse. She didn't make a speech. She didn't post anything online. Instead, she arrived quietly, flanked by attorneys, and walked into the courtroom where Cassie was testifying. Her presence alone changed everything. It later emerged that J-Lo had submitted a written statement in support of Cassie, under oath. In her statement, J-Lo wrote that while she couldn't speak to the details of Cassie's experience, she too had witnessed controlling behaviors, possessiveness, and professional manipulation during her own relationship with Diddy. She wrote that Cassie's courage in coming forward inspired her to reflect on her own past and speak up in solidarity. The courtroom went silent. Diddy's expression shifted. His attorney scrambled. The press exploded. When Jennifer Lopez publicly threw her support behind Cassie, it sent shockwaves through the courtroom and the entertainment world alike. J-Lo, a towering figure in music and film, rarely involves herself in the personal battles of others, especially high-profile legal disputes. Her decision to back Cassie wasn't just a celebrity endorsement. It was a powerful statement that shifted the dynamics of the trial entirely. Lopez's involvement amplified Cassie's voice, giving it new credibility and weight. It signaled to everyone watching that this case transcended personal grievances. It was about holding influential figures accountable for abuse of power within the music industry. J-Lo's backing validated Cassie's claims in the eyes of the public and added pressure on Diddy's legal team to rethink their defense strategy.
Difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, going to rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Chapter 4, Diddy's public outburst. Cassie had just finished detailing an incident from 2019 when she says Diddy threatened to destroy her career if she ever left him. As she spoke, Diddy became visibly agitated, whispering to his lawyers, fidgeting, bouncing his knee. Then, just as the court was preparing for a recess, Diddy stood up and pointed at Cassie. "That's all lies," he shouted. "You know what you did." Gasps filled the courtroom. Even the stenographer paused. Cassie didn't flinch. She kept her eyes forward, unshaken. Then Diddy turned to the gallery, locking eyes with someone in the back. "And you," he said, his voice cracking with emotion, "you'll regret getting involved in this." It was directed at 50 Cent, who had shown up in support of Cassie and was seated with J-Lo's legal team. The judge immediately banged the gavel, demanding order. Security swarmed Diddy's side. The entire courtroom was now fully aware. This wasn't the cool, composed mogul Diddy portrayed for decades. This was something else. Chapter 5, The Fallout. The impact of Diddy's outburst was instant. The judge denied his team's request for a recess. One juror was seen writing furiously in her notebook. Legal experts later commented that such behavior is devastating in front of a jury, who watch not just the facts, but the demeanor of everyone involved. Behind closed doors, Diddy's legal team reportedly fell into chaos. Their initial strategy, portraying him as a respectable businessman unjustly accused, was now untenable. Overnight, they reworked their defense to position him as a passionate but misunderstood man. Meanwhile, Cassie's team pounced. They filed to allow 3 new witnesses, all former employees of Diddy who had previously been unwilling to testify. But after seeing his courtroom behavior and J-Lo's backing, they stepped forward, saying they finally felt safe to speak. Chapter 6, J-Lo's statement hits hard. The press soon got their hands on J-Lo's statement. It included a particularly poignant line: "Sometimes power protects you from accountability. But when women speak in unity, that protection disappears." She didn't accuse Diddy directly of abuse, but detailed how he used power to isolate, intimidate, and control those close to him, herself included. She spoke of missed opportunities, lost time, and a pattern of behavior that she had dismissed for too long. In an interview days later, J-Lo told a reporter, "We're in a moment where the truth matters. Silence only helps the powerful." That quote went viral within hours. Social media exploded. Hashtags supporting Cassie trended worldwide. Meanwhile, Diddy's image took a catastrophic hit. Chapter 7, Industry Turns Its Back. Within days of the courtroom incident and J-Lo's statement, major business partners began distancing themselves from Diddy. Revolt TV shares dropped nearly 15%. Ciroc and Delian, Diddy's liquor brands, were reportedly shelved by 3 distributors. His talent agency issued a statement confirming that his representation was under internal review, and his upcoming music tour was abruptly canceled, with ticketing sites citing logistical issues. Sources from inside the industry began talking about a Diddy exodus, where companies, artists, and collaborators were severing ties to protect their own brands. Chapter 8 to 50 Cent's moves. As if the situation wasn't already intense, 50 Cent poured gasoline on the fire. He posted several cryptic, and not so cryptic, messages on social media. One post showed a split screen of Diddy in court next to security footage allegedly linked to earlier allegations, with the caption, "Actions speak louder than lawyers." Another post teased a new docuseries titled Music Industry Secrets, strongly hinting that the show would expose more about the inner workings of Diddy's empire and possibly others in the industry. These posts received millions of views, and more importantly, they emboldened others. A former personal assistant, a tour manager, and even a choreographer came forward in interviews, backing parts of Cassie's claims and describing similar incidents from their time working with Diddy. Chapter 9, Cassie's Strength, J-Lo's Legacy. While Diddy scrambled, Cassie stood taller than ever. Her testimony resumed, and this time she was more confident, more direct. According to reporters inside the courtroom, her demeanor had shifted completely. Calm, focused, empowered. Her attorney later confirmed she feels vindicated. Having people like Jennifer Lopez stand beside her gave her strength. As for J-Lo, her decision to step forward has reshaped her public image once again, from pop icon to advocate. While she continues to avoid interviews about the case, her written testimony and quiet show of support spoke louder than any press conference ever could. Cassie's emergence throughout the trial has been nothing short of transformative. Once perceived by many as a peripheral figure, her steadfastness and courage in the face of intense public scrutiny have reshaped the narrative entirely. Every day in court, Cassie's confidence grows, marked by her clear, composed testimony and unwavering resolve to seek justice. What began as one woman's fight for justice has grown into a movement shaking the very core of the music industry. Diddy's courtroom explosion wasn't just a loss of control, it was a window into the reality behind the brand. With J.Lo backing Cassie and more witnesses stepping forward, the foundation that once protected Diddy now appears to be crumbling fast. This case is no longer just about Sean Combs and Cassie. It's about power, accountability, and the end of silence in an industry that has long buried its secrets. And as the trial continues, more names, more stories, and more fallout may follow. We'll be here to cover every development. If you found this video insightful, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay with us as we continue uncovering the stories shaping today's headlines. Thanks for watching. Until next time.